Now that Raya and the Last Dragon is out, it's time to start picking at some of the bigger questions. Like, why did the dragons remain as stone statues for 500 years when the human population went back to normal? Well, I am here today to present an explanation, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm McGann, and welcome back to the Fangirl, where I really wanted to fall in love with Raya, but oh, those plot holes. If you haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon yet, it's a bit of a clunky movie. It's gorgeously animated, don't get me wrong, but the story ends up being kind of lackluster for a few reasons. For starters, there is so much going on and so many characters that we don't get a lot of satisfying character arcs. Even Raya, the title person of the film, ends up having a pretty uninspired personality to where it's hard to care about her. I mean, she loves her dad, she doesn't trust people, and other than that, she's kind of a tough teenage girl stereotype. It's like the world building for this movie was very present, but they didn't make a very connectable story for the audience. I'm getting ahead of myself though, so let me step back and recap the movie for those who haven't watched it yet. Raya and the Last Dragon starts off by explaining that these creatures named Droon appeared one day and started turning everyone to stone. And then the last remaining dragon, Sisu, used the dragon gem to thwart the Droon and unpetrify the world. However, Sisu essentially passed out and vanished into the water, never to be seen again. And the other dragons remained trapped in stone even though the humans all returned to normal. The overall setting has a very ancient Thailand or Malaysia kind of vibe to it. So we have beautiful venues for this story. And officially, we're set in the nation of Kumandra, which centers itself around a lake that's shaped like a dragon, and the land has become subdivided into 5 different regions. So we have Fang, Heart, Spine, Talon, and Tail, and much like Ohio and every state around Ohio, the tribes all hate each other, and they have all the negative stereotypes you can imagine for one another. But Raya's father, who's the leader of Heart and the primary guardian of the Dragon Gem, decides he wants to make a united Kumandra again and throws a big party. Raya is really reserved about this, but she drops her guard around Namari, another girl her age, and they seem to be seriously crushing on each other when all of a sudden Namari tries to steal the Dragon Gem. The gem breaks and each of the 5 nations nab a piece, releasing the Droon back into the world. So, Raya's dad ends up petrified, and after 6 years of searching, Raya finds Sisu, and the two of them try to fix the world. Oh, and it turns out that Sisu is actually not as powerful as the legends say. She's a water dragon, and the gem was composed of her 4 siblings' powers, but she just held the gem at the end and made everything work somehow. She doesn't even know. But now, 500 years later, Raya picks up a new crew member in every land they visit, and then they all turn to stone at the end, which, for no explained reason, fixes and reactivates the Dragon Gem and turns everyone, dragons included this time, back to normal. I really want to give this movie the benefit of the doubt that it could have been a lot better if not for the state of the world, shutting the workflow at Disney down. But yeah, there are some major flops in the storytelling here. For example, why did each piece of the Dragon Gem somehow perfectly possess one power that Sisu could claim as her own? And why were the Droon repelled by water and the Dragon Gem and nothing else? Plus, the whole movie has this miasma about it that's like, what if we did Aladdin, but with girls? Anyways, what I want to cover today is that beginning and end issue with the Dragon Gem. The gem was made 500 years before the movie started, and even after the gem was used successfully, it still left the dragons stuck as statues for all those centuries. So why did that same gem release them from their stone prison at the end of the film? The dragon should still be stuck, right? It's the same stone. It makes no sense. There's no context given, but here's the best that I can piece together. The Droon are creatures that were born from human discord. So, I'm assuming Kumandra already had a bunch of issues going on, and the different tribes were already forming, and that created enough animosity to bring forth the Droon. Apparently, the Droons hate chaos, though, so they rip the souls out of people and turn them into lotus-holding statues. Nice, peaceful, no one to fight with each other anymore. The Droon are kind of like Mother Earth popped up and decided, no more humans, stop. So really, the Droon are trying to be heroes on Earth, and we just don't understand them. Obviously, though, no living thing wants to be turned to stone against their will. So, as all was seeming lost, Sisu's siblings put their magic into the dragon gem, and they trusted in Sisu to wield that power and save humanity. Why? Well, because Sisu is connected to all the bodies of water, which repel the Droon, so Sisu's powers were really more about the wealth and bounty involved with flooding, which, if you don't know ancient farming stuff, floods were very desirable because that meant good crops were to follow. And when Sisu temporarily died, all the water started getting pulled into the earth. So if Sisu had given up her powers to the gem, mankind was pretty much dead from dehydration anyways. And, there would have been nothing to fend off the Droon because there'd be no water. Sisu being a water dragon made her untouchable, which means her siblings didn't just trust in her. There was a strategic reason to give Sisu the dragon gem, and she just wasn't fast enough to realize it. So the gem gets used, the rain restores every human on Earth and seals away the Droon, but the dragons don't return. Why not? Because it was dragon magic that kept the Droon at bay. It was their sacrifice that saved mankind. If the dragons were restored too, their powers would be returned to them, and then there would be nothing to keep the Droon at bay anymore. Meaning, the unity of those dragon powers is what was actually important. So, skip ahead to 500 years later, the gem is broken into 5 convenient pieces and stolen. And that makes it to where the Droon can return because the magic that sealed them is divided up again. But when we get to the end of the film and the humans are now willing to trust each other and unite to reunite the dragon gem pieces, that seems to make the gem work in overhaul mode. A blast of light comes out and all the dragons and humans are freed from their stone binds. However, there is absolutely no indication that the Droon are dead. They may be sealed away again, but these things seem to have no natural weaknesses, and they don't seem to have bodies that can be killed at all. So yeah, they're still around. The difference, though, is that Team Raya was not in conflict. They actually put the gem back together in a state of peace and trust. And at first, I kind of thought the movie was trying to say that humans had some magic in there, but I really don't think that's the case. I don't think they're particularly special, other than being people from 5 different tribes who sought out a cooperative change. So they mentally and physically reunited Kumandra, but the gem just had enough magic left in there to heal itself back up and do whatever it was it needed to do. So the Droon get blasted away, the healing rains come, and this time the dragons get to return too, all because the humans were ready to stop warring with each other, and that put the Droon back to sleep-ish. I'm not quite clear where they go. But that theoretically means that the discord among men is going to stop, so the Droon won't exist any longer, and so the dragons can come out and reclaim their own magic again. That's the only thing I can see that would have changed. And the dragons had to have some kind of psychic ability to know that the humans have simmered down, so they can come recollect their magic and return to waking life. Which makes our final answer that it all boils down to the dragons actively deciding to be stone statues for 500 years, all because the humans couldn't figure out how to get along, so the dragons couldn't take their magic out of the dragon gem without the Droon re-rising, so they just decided decided to be statues. Man, those dragons really took one for the team. I don't think Min would have done the same for them. And logically, there are some flaws here since there were many other dragons besides Sisu's siblings. But this does fit within the context of the movie. Personally, I agree with the idea that Raya would have made a much better television series than a movie. But it is what it is now, and we just have to pick up the pieces we were left with. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, "Hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that?" Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Family and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos like you helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members.